Stacy Snyder. Schneider?
Snyder.
I
mean, unless you're very German and want to say it that way. But
I used to think I was German, but my 23andMe turns out I'm not at all.
I've been dying to do that, and now people are saying that it's not that legit. That you need to do something else, or it's the DNA something. I don't know.
I mean, whatever. I don't know.
You know how something's a trend and everyone's like, they shit all over it? Or it's like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's not that accurate for whatever reason.
Yeah. Why do they have to shit on my...
Maybe I should still do it.
Still do it. It's like $100.
Okay.
You might find a cousin or a sister or something.
Oh, God. That's what I need, another sister. I think I'm good there.
Oh, I can't wait to dive into your family later because we didn't do that at all last time you were on.
I know.
It was episode 101 or 102, forgive me, Whiners, but you were on Adultish Whines once before.
Yes.
With another guest, Shelby Webb.
Good times.
Good times.
Cheers to that. And look who's left standing.
Good times. Oh my God. Wait. Okay. So yes, Stacy Snyder, most well known for being on Love is Blind, of course,
Yes.
but you've really kind of made it your own thing, and you're kind of doing a lot. You're an influencer, may I say.
That's weird, but yeah.
Content creator, do you prefer?
I get
Influencer.
it's not that I'm offended.
Okay.
I think it's because I used to be that girl that made fun of influencers.
Everyone once was. Like I used to say, what did I used to say? Something like, you could never find me doing a fit tea,
Or having one of those lights.
but
like a soul.
yeah, but I'll do it.
I'm that person.
No, I recently got asked to do, a sponsor reached out to me, and it was a very well-paying job, and it was for a medical alert device for seniors.
Oh, kind of like what you see when it's like I slipped and fell. And...
Yeah.
What were you going to be doing for? Just talking about it on here?
They wanted me to use an old person in my life to demonstrate how much I care about them, and
Yeah.
would want them to use this type
So
of
you're an
device. And I was like, I don't think I can do it.
Why?
Should I do it? Should I reach back out?
Yeah.
I mean, the
because
pay was great.
It's few and far between. It'll rain, pour, and then drought. So
Yeah, that was a little rain.
yeah.
But then I was thinking, I don't have any old people in my life, so I'd have to borrow somebody's.
Mine are all in California, so.
Yeah, so you can't volunteer. But anyway, I'll do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm pretty close to doing the things that I said I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
It's whatever.
With that.
But it's cool that it's propelled you into this thing. And I know you were into styling and fashion before, but it's given you a little bit more of a pedestal to focus on that.
Yeah, and it's
Right?
gotten a lot busier lately. And I don't know if that's because I'm producing content about fashion, but I had the Closet Audit before the show, which is my business for closet organization and personal styling. And then once the show came out, it's like, we want you to promote this or make content based on this. So fashion was just really what I was wearing and people asking while I was filming something else about something else.
Right.
So I couldn't really focus and promote my business. And now that I've been talking about it more or adding links for my website, I've been busier than ever with it, which is
That's
so
so great.
exciting. But I don't know. I wish I had the insights of where they're coming from. Is it because my socials got boosted or what? Are people finding my content? It's oh, she does styling. I have no idea. But
Okay.
it's very exciting.
Well, take it as it comes.
I am.
I love that. Okay, so styling business is taking off.
Mhm.
Amazing. So do you do virtual or
Yes.
do you...
Yeah, I
Oh,
do.
all
I do. Not all virtual. It just depends on where the client's at. I think it's ideal for them if they want a closet clean out for me to be there with them.
Yeah.
But it's depending on what they want. It's easier for me to style virtually than clean out someone's closet because there's times where I'm looking on their computer or their phone where I'm is that blue or green? I can't tell because they may not have the right lighting or whatever. But a lot of it's virtual, which I didn't think a lot of people would be interested in that. A lot of people just want the hands-on when it comes to services, but it's been working.
For me, I think I would want somebody to be with me in my, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like therapy. I like to be in person, show you my real self,
I'm that way too, but the therapist that I got hooked on's in Mexico. So I have to do virtual with her.
How
But
did you come across a therapist in Mexico?
friend of a friend. I've been through so many therapists,
Really?
not to sound insane. That sounded so bad.
No.
Well, it's you go through different things and you need different things out of
Yeah.
a therapist. And then you kind of take a break when you're okay, I'm good. And then it's I've gone back to a therapist that I might have gone to in a relationship. The relationship didn't work out and it just kind of felt weird going back alone, or I don't need the same things. But it was a friend that used this therapist that was referred from their friend and their friend. It's like, what? And she's great.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you ever feel like, so if you ever need to go back to a different therapist or what have you, when you're starting up fresh again, you got to give them all the background? Because even if you're talking about one topic, there's things that have come in.
Yeah. And that's why I would dread switching therapists.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like, I know what's best for me and I'm not getting what I need. So I can either I can keep going through the motions.
Right.
Or unfortunately, it's just kind of part of it.
Yeah.
Or there's been therapists where I'm like, I want to focus on this one thing. I have daddy issues. I've moved around a lot. We can talk about that later, but I want to talk about this right now.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. I love it. Advocating for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Mexico. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Love is Blind too much.
Yeah.
Few things, though. Are you watching Love is Blind Minnesota?
No.
You don't watch the show.
I did. I didn't think I would because I felt sort of traumatized after my season. But I did, almost as a yearning to find someone to relate to. Like, oh, I went through the same thing. Like, we're in this together. So I did for season 6 and 7. And no offense to any of the cast. I don't know them. But I just could not. I had no, like, I want to watch this. It looks juicy. Or one person that looked so interesting. Or I had to know more. I haven't watched a single episode. But
it's not juicy at all.
It's not.
I finished it. I watched it in the background, and typically I'm like locked in.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but like they're all lovely people from Minnesota. Is what I like. Nothing is wrong with them. I mean, there's a few.
Was it like not enough drama?
Yeah, like not enough drama, and like I don't know. They're just really nice. The girls especially, just like nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not enough.
That was kind of like what I got from the trailer where there was no plot twist, or sometimes they fake it, almost like clickbait, like faking something that's going to happen. But I was like,
yeah.
Also, I could be mistaken, but I swear I read an article around the time that the last season was wrapping up, finale, reunion, like at its prime. And I remember at last season's reunion, they brought on a couple of the cast from this current season. They were in the stands, and then after reunion was over, they were like, and by the way, season 8? Season 8 is dropping on Valentine's Day, and here's some of our cast. And he introduced them, which was so bizarre to me. But I also remember reading an article where I swear it was either DC or this season, which have already aired, that they said it was their first time having siblings. That there were sisters on it, and they gave a lot of details on like a love triangle. I think
that's the Minnesota thing. It's got to be.
I know that now. I'm like, did they lie?
Or maybe it's the upcoming Denver. That's where they're going next.
I'm gonna send it to you later, but I swear it said DC, and that never happened. That was 2 seasons.
Wouldn't be surprised if.
I'm like, oh my God.
There were some lies being told from reality TV.
I would probably watch a season if there were sisters on it. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh my God. They fell in love with the same guy.
Or even if you didn't and one gets engaged and one doesn't, then your sister's there through the process, but not because she's in the process. It's because.
Oh, yeah. And then they're at the family visits. Yeah. I would follow that. So anyway, Love is Blind Minnesota is fine-ish.
It's fine.
They're fine people. Like I do like a couple of the individual, but
the
storylines are just like meh. I saw in your story the other day, you were talking about, I guess maybe it was an AMA, people were asking you questions and they were like, you just don't get invited anywhere.
Yeah.
Is it you or is it the whole season that really doesn't get invited or included?
It's not just me, but I think they hate our season. But I mean, at this event that just happened, there were at least 3 to 5, maybe 8 members of each season that went. And ours was just 2, which was Lydia and Milton.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have been shocked if it was none. We have 2 lawsuits.
Yeah. Can we a little bit about them? Just high level.
So it's public knowledge. But depending on when this stuff comes out, I'm surprised people aren't talking about it because it came out when our season was airing. It was on People Magazine, whatever. So there's one girl that is suing, I believe, the production company in Netflix, but maybe just the production company for sexual harassment. And I know there's another, I think it's not reckless abandonment. I'd have to look it up. She started that lawsuit between filming and airing.
Release. Okay.
So it wasn't like, I saw this edit, I'm filming for this. It was like what she experienced was so horrific that she pressed charges before we even knew when our season was coming out. That is still ongoing. I think one part of that's settled out. And then there's another one with Renee Poche where Kinetic sued her for $4 million for breaking her contract. So basically what happened, Renee was on the show and went all the way with her fiance. Their storyline was cut pretty close to when our season was supposed to air.
Okay.
It was shocking for everyone because they went all the way. And we didn't have that many couples, so why would you cut another couple? I won't get into why they cut it. But in our contracts, it says that you can't talk about anything that happened on and off the screen. So she can't be like, oh yeah, I was at dress shopping because I was getting a dress for myself because I had a wedding. She was Renee, Lydia's best friend, which wasn't the case at all. She wasn't allowed to discuss that when everyone watching is like, why the hell is Renee there? That's so random. She was there because she was dress shopping. She had a wedding.
Oh.
So when the show was coming out and she was getting all these questions asked and opportunities for podcasts, they were very much like, you can't answer that, you can't talk about it, and absolutely not, which would feel very restricting and frustrating for someone in her position. So long story short, they sued her because she broke the contract by still talking about it, saying what happened, and went on podcasts talking about it. She ended up countersuing, and she has the same lawyer, Brian Friedman, the same lawyer that's representing Justin Baldoni in this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit right now. And he's he's one of the most famous Hollywood attorneys. He represented Megyn Kelly and her whole Fox lawsuit. He does contracts. Gabrielle Union, Mariah Carey. He is big time. So he has been on her side as a counterclaim. And what they're saying is our contracts are null and void because they break constitutional rights and they go against the labor laws, which is true. And so now the labor board is coming after them because they sued her and brought light to their own unjust contracts, which is hysterical. And I'm sorry, but so laughable to me.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's what's going on there. That hasn't settled out, but I believe, I'm 90% certain that the production company has dropped their charges against her now that they're countersuing and now that the labor board is coming after them. But I think they're trying to figure out if they still want to press charges. Her party.
Okay. So they're just trying not to fuck with your guys' season at all, it seems like.
I mean, I can't imagine any other reason. Like, why would you bring people in that kind of side with the people that have a problem with you guys legally?
Yeah.
So I get it, but we've just never talked about it because it's fear of getting sued because they send cease and desist and sue letters left and right to keep everyone quiet.
But you can talk now at this point, like...
Oh, I do, because I know that my contract doesn't really matter anymore because of Renee's lawsuit. But right now, I mean, should I have talked about that? Probably not. If she didn't have a lawsuit and you were asking me about her, I'd be like, I don't know. That's what the publicist told us to say in our interviews with People Magazine, Us Weekly, when the show was airing and they were interviewing us. If they ask about, I won't name the other girl that's in a lawsuit. If they ask about them, you're not sure, you don't really know them.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's so crazy, and it's actually disgusting.
It's gross.
It's disgusting. It's not like someone's trying to get...
Because how isolating for those people.
Very lonely.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about the other girls, but I mean, I was there to witness a lot of it. So I try to... How's it going? what's going on with this? Do you want someone to talk to? Because
Yeah.
I can't imagine anyone else having any idea what they're talking
Right.
about.
There's just a select few. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it feels good for them and everyone involved that's experienced that to know that things are moving forward and that they do have a right to say that things are saying, because the government and the labor board are like, this is illegal.
That's crazy. For a production company, like, you should get some better lawyers to create this contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really it. All I have to say about Love is Blind. Those were the questions I had.
Yeah.
I want to get to know you more. Since you were on Adultish Whines 40-ish episodes ago.
Yeah.
You've been on a couple other podcasts, right?
I'm trying to remember.
You went out to Orange County for one.
Yeah.
I forget.
Wait, was it Made It Out? I think it's called Made It Out.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then Bethany Frankel as well.
Yeah, I did hers virtually.
Okay, so you're a pro now.
I guess. It's just like everyone wants to know different things.
Yeah.
Depending on the focus of their audience, their podcast.
Yeah.
So Bethany was very like, okay, bye. Oh. And then Made It Out was more about my relationship, my upbringing, and how that has affected my relationships.
Yeah.
Very, very therapeutic.
Okay.
Where it's like very deep, but like very real conversations.
Love that.
I sort of loved it, hated it, because I cried. I'm like,
aw, that's good.
It is, but it's like embarrassing when you're with someone that you've just met and you're trying to like still be emotional but not lose it. And then it's like the
aw, okay, I'm gonna have to go listen to it.
You can.
I'm gonna have to go listen to it. Okay, well, I do kind of want to get a little bit deeper. You said earlier, like, oh my gosh, another sister. What's your family like? Let's know more about you.
So I'm one of 3 girls.
Okay.
I'm the middle child.
Okay.
We were all born in Southern California. Moved around a lot growing up. My dad's in oil and gas. He was an oil trader. So we moved California to Houston, to New York, and then back to Houston. And then I grew up in Nashville. So that's where I went to high school. And then I just kind of bounced around every year or two, whether it was for a job or if I just was bored. Because I was so used to moving that a change of scenery was
natural
just,
to you.
Yeah, I'd get bored.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a small town. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Okay.
Until I moved to Houston about, I think it's 10 years now. But yeah, I'm like shocked because I did not think I would stay here based on where else
What's
I've
kept
lived.
you here?
I feel like Houston's one of those cities that kind of grows on you. Like, it's not the most gorgeous place.
Yeah, like overall.
Coming from Nashville. But I think once you really like get into your group of friends or your community, like Houston has such a strong community.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I met people, I hadn't really experienced that in the other places I lived. I had worked at a bar or in retail where my friends, we all had weird hours. So the people I was hanging out with, we were just going out and drinking because our hours were so odd. But then when I had a more solid job and moved here, the friends that I was making were honestly through like community of Pilates, or some of my friends that I knew through people that cut my hair were like, let's go to Pride. I did not know them outside of the hair salon. They're like, let's go to Gay Pride. It's today. Stacy, you want to come? I'm like, okay.
Fun.
Right?
Yeah.
That's very Houston.
That's been
to
my
me.
experience with Houston too. Very welcoming.
Yeah.
Very open, very diverse.
Very diverse. Yeah. So I think once I felt that and it was so genuine, I didn't want to leave because I didn't really have that anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. And then I met so many friends through those friends, or I was introducing them to people that I picked up along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah. And ironically, all of my family's in Texas now.
Okay. And you were just in Dallas visiting one sister?
Yeah. So my older sister, she's 14 months older than me.
14 months.
Yeah. We're very close in age. Well, outside of age. But she's married, has 2 little girls, and she's in Dallas. And she moved to Dallas probably 2 years before I moved to Houston. So she was already in Texas. My dad was in Houston. So I was like, that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And then probably, 3 years after I moved here, my younger sister, whatever was going on in her life where she's like, I can't move here and I can't go there. Can I come to Houston? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Same thing with her where she's like, this sucks. I hate it here. I'm not going to stay. And she's been here years. She's engaged and she's getting married in November.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Like, we're not from here, but we're all somehow here.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It must be your youngest sister. Yes. I met her at Dr. Mamawa, who I've had on before for awareness pelvic floor therapy. They're connected. They used to work in
I'm trying to remember because this is all ringing a bell because I remember her describing you to me and being like, I met her. I couldn't remember what she was talking about. So it was a pelvic floor.
It was an opening of her new office, of her new practice.
She's a therapist.
Yes, pelvic floor therapist.
And PT
used to work
PT.
Pelvic floor.
But like a physical therapist?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
You got to listen to the pelvic floor therapy episode. Okay. She's amazing.
Okay. Well, I know what that is. And we work some of that in Pilates, but I didn't know that was like a...
No, it's a thing. It's a full-on thing. Ask your sister about it because she knows her. Dr. Mamawa Bort.
Was it like Kegels and bridges?
You don't do Kegels. They don't work. Kegels is a misconception.
I agree, but I'm like, that's all I know.
No, nothing. She gets in there.
You just did this.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a physical.
Yes. It's to understand what's going on with your muscles. Like,
Okay. I'm fascinated.
I know. It's really fascinating. But yes, I saw your sister. So she was saying hi to somebody. She's like, oh my gosh, she goes, I see you in Adultish Whines on my story all the time, or on my stories all the time, and everyone was like, that's her, and I was like, that's me. And she's like, oh my god, yes, so my sister was on
my younger sister.
Yeah.
She's so and she's a relationship and sex therapist.
Yeah, and I think they worked in the same office.
Probably.
That's how they.
But like for people that don't know anything about me or my family,
yeah,
it's
so cool.
A mixed bag, oil and gas and sex therapist.
Fun. Never a dull moment.
I mean, she has the most exciting job to me. Like, the only person I want to ask about their day at work.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, genuinely.
Or, I mean, you with your styling and stuff.
It's nothing compared to, like... Obviously, she's not disclosing anything, like, violating him. But, I mean...
No, it's very intriguing.
Very intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've had Dr. Vivian on before. And that's her profession, too. So.
Well, I've met her because of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we did, it was a night show, but she's close with some of the team from, actually, she might have been on the Kinetic team because she did Mavs.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, she was on Married at First Sight.
Yes, same company.
It's the same production company.
Oh.
So it's the same people in the back.
Everyone's all very... intertwined and connected. And you know what? Another thing about Houston, the largest, smallest city.
You're telling me.
Okay. But you love it here. Your family's in Texas. Mm-hmm. You found your footing.
Yeah.
And last time you were on, you were saying that you were in a new relationship or you were going to keep it kind of to yourself for a little bit. And then you did end up coming out and saying you had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. How's that been going?
It's good. So we've been dating, I guess, like, when was it?
I mean,
July or August we started dating, but we had been friends for at least a year before that. Ironically met through the show-ish. But we were very close friends. And it wasn't just me and her. It was like 3 of us that were all close and kind of met around the same time, all coming from different backgrounds. And then after my last relationship, she and I just kind of like hit it off and started dating. I don't know if it was July or August. And I'm like, what month is it now?
I'm going to need to find out soon for your anniversary.
The older I get, I just never know what day it is. I don't know the date. But I mean, back in high school and college, that was like my thing. I loved it. I would get offended if someone didn't remember the day that we dated and celebrating an anniversary. Like, it's been 2 months.
How we're getting older. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't care. Not. I mean, I should. But like a year, sure.
Okay.
A year, sure. But every month, I'm
like, okay.
Who cares?
Okay.
That's terrible.
Not who cares.
That's just how I am. Where I'm like, okay, I want to do like the big milestones.
Okay. How has I know that you received a lot of support and a little bit of hate or a little bit of just annoying people, but overwhelming support, right?
Yeah. And that was just, it was shocking to me because the only experience I really had with overwhelming feedback from the masses or from social media was from the show, and it was pretty negative.
Mm-hmm.
There were some positive, but it was very overwhelming. So I was so scared to share really anything about my life that was real. I didn't care to share fashion or cooking because I'm like, if you don't like my outfit, I don't fucking care.
Right.
But when it's personal, it's just different. So I was surprised. I was very surprised. I thought it would just be another excuse to be like, you want attention, or you're trying to stay relevant, or whatever people would say. And it wasn't. It was, you still get that, but it was mostly positive.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah. Because it's rare that people surprise me in a good way.
Okay.
So thank you to the public of whoever came on and was like rooting for me. It was sweet.
Do you feel like you are tainted by that like negative outlook or negative outcome or negative view? And did you grow up with that?
It's so weird because growing up, like when I was really little, I was painfully shy. I don't know if I would even say I lacked self-confidence. I just didn't like people addressing me and talking to me and people looking at me, like publicly speaking for school. When you had to give a speech, I would get hives and shaky hands. Like that made me so nervous. And then when we moved around so much, and it was like the fourth time of moving where I had to be the new girl all the time and go through that every year, every other year, it got to a point where it's like, you just have to buck up and fake it, because I think I just couldn't take it anymore.
Right.
The rejection or the humiliation. So I was just like, okay, instead of getting made fun of because you're turning bright red when people talk to you, you're going to walk in like you are the hottest thing since sliced bread and just own it. And I don't know if that's good or bad, but it worked for me on one of my last moves where it helped me initiate conversations with people, make friends, because I was putting myself out there. And then through school and cheer and all of that, I was more confident, more outgoing, because I had just kind of not created an alter ego, but just put myself out there. And I think when you come from a place of either insecurity or being afraid of what people think or being shy, your biggest fear is like getting made fun of if you put yourself out there and if you're vulnerable. But when you put yourself out there and you receive love and people like you for who you are, it does the opposite, where it just fuels it. Because from the show, everyone's like, you're so confident. I envy that. And then some people were like, you're too confident. You're cocky. And going into the show, when they had a psychiatrist that would do, what do you call it? Like a, before you go on and after.
Like a psych exam?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of the main things they were asking is like, how would you deal with public scrutiny? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you care about what people say about you? What if it was false, what they were saying about you? All that. And I'm like, I literally was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Because I didn't. But I had never been put out there in front of millions of people.
Yeah.
For them to be judging me for something that's really not even true. That was hard. Because I can live with being judged for something that's me and to my core who I am. But when things are just kind of like tweaked and edited to create a false character of who you are and put you out like, hey, judge her for who she isn't, that will drive someone crazy. So it was hard. And now I just kind of feel like it's back in that little bubble of I'm not necessarily on that big of a platform for that many people to judge me about something, because I'm in control of my own narrative now. I share what I want to share, and that's genuine to me. So I feel like it's kind of going back to like, not the old me, but
yeah, maybe just like a little bit more of like a cultivated, like large friend group, you know? Like obviously I know you don't know a lot of the people that follow you and interact, but like people that you more so trust. And like you said, you're putting out what you want to put out, so you can back yourself on that.
And I think as we're like talking about this out loud, it's taking me back to like the example I gave you when I was super shy and I was so scared to just put myself out there. I felt like I had to do that again after the show. Even with like coming out with my new relationship, I was scared. Like, oh my God, people are going to hate me. People are going to like talk shit about me. And it was the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, okay.
So refreshing.
Then I get to be who I really am.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Like, it was literally like just another, like a repeat of the same cycle. Just at 36 instead of 12 or whatever age it was.
Aw, that's tough.
Yeah, but life's tough. You get through it. Makes you stronger.
Shape up or ship out.
Right. For real. For real.
Do you see yourself working in oil and gas forever?
No. I mean, I never even saw myself working in oil and gas, period.
Okay.
I was trying to get out of Nashville. I love Nashville, but growing up there, where Nashville was at that time when I was living there, it wasn't as big as it was now. So if I went out to meet people, it would be people I knew from school or one of their cousins or one of their exes. And I'm like, I do not want this. I want to grow.
Yeah, it felt like hometown vibes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know Houston or anything about it. I'm going to go there and work in oil and gas. So it wasn't like my lifelong dream.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to do this as a transition and find what I really want to do. And it's like 10 years later, but I do work for my dad. He's not going to work forever. I've been doing all these other things like content creation. I used to be a personal stylist and I did it as a side thing, but now I've like put more into that with my website and advocating for myself because I do want to have myself set up for when I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like working all these jobs and teaching Pilates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've yet to come do.
I know.
It's on
But I'm back
my
on the
list.
schedule. I don't know if I was on the schedule last time I came here.
Okay.
But I'm Thursdays now, 11 a.m. and noon.
It's not going to work for me.
Ever?
No.
Take it. I'm subbing this Saturday, but...
Not ever. Is your schedule pretty flexible?
So, before the
Thursdays at 11 or noon.
Yeah. So, before the show, I was working full-time oil and gas, and then I was teaching Pilates Thursday evenings. Then after the show, with social media and brand deals and all of that, I was so overwhelmed. So we brought on my other sister. She does real estate in Dallas, but I needed someone to help with like the contracts, the admin.
Okay.
Where I'm still handling my responsibilities, but for the paperwork and something that I can train someone to do, I need someone there. So because I now have this big overwhelming thing in my face.
Yeah.
So I told my dad, who's my boss, like, let me see how this goes. And if this is something that takes off, that provides X, Y, and Z, I'll find someone to replace me and we'll transition, whatever. And it's just one of those things that it's so inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I thought it would be consistent or give me an answer. Like, I can expect this and in a bad month, this. And it's like,
really? Oh my God, so stressful.
I know. It's so
good that
stressful.
you have the main boo then, the main job.
The main boo.
Yeah, you have the other side bitches.
Yeah. No, for sure. But it'll all work out. And I know that, again, he's not going to be working forever. So right now I'm planting my seeds into my long-term goals and helping finish out whatever he's started. And I have no idea. Some days I ask him, when are you retiring? And it's one answer. And then the other days it's completely different.
Yeah.
So I'm just on this every day, day by day.
Keeps it fun, fresh, and exciting.
Exciting and exhausting.
Yeah, I can see the stresses of content creation side of things, like with the bank account. That would, I don't know. But I do hear that when people take a leap, like if you, and I'm not, obviously you don't care what I say, but like,
yes,
some people like take a leap, like go do it full time, like spend all your time into this, pour all of your effort into this, and like maybe it would be a little bit more consistent.
Well, that's the thing with social media is you do kind of have to be 100% in to be very successful. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And I only have that opinion because I've dealt with it firsthand for the last 2 years where I'm like, I can't do it 100%. I'm going to do as much as I can and see what that looks like. And if it's promising enough, I'll take the leap. But another thing for me is I'm a very in the moment person. And I feel like there's people that are so good with social media where they don't, it's just cameras on all the time, or they know how to flip it on for 2 seconds and then be done recording and then be in the moment. And
I can do that.
that's just hard for me. And majority of my friends and all of my family are not about social media. They're not about wanting to be in a video. Like, they will if I ask them to, but it's not going to be like, if I'm like, hey, we're at Chris's dinner and smile, they do this. Like, literally.
Okay.
So it's not
so you
like,
don't have any like valuable participants.
no, I think they hate it. They'll support me.
Yeah.
They've come on before. I'm like, watch and review this with me, and they will, and they're great at it. But they very much like their private time and their time with the family. That's just that.
Yeah.
So for me,
And I respect that too.
oh yeah, I do too. It's just, again, people that want to do that, do it all day, every day. TikTok for sure, and you'll probably make a lot of money, but I can't.
It's so hard.
I know.
The balance.
Yeah.
The balance. Okay, I want to get a little bit more into some styling, some questions about that.
Yeah.
Actually, let's do wine or fine first. So wine or fine, wine or fine. So I'm going to ask you kind of rapid fire, but like you can give some background to each thing. Like
Wine or F-I-N-E.
Yeah, like wine. I'm going to say, rosé, or do you like rosé? It's a fine. You like rosé.
Oh, fine. Oh, wine is like complete.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, sip or fine.
Oh, you could. We could make it a drinking game.
Okay.
Okay, so anytime we say wine,
we're not about it.
we're not about it.
And then we have
take
to
a drink.
Okay.
Crocs outside the house, wine or fine?
No, wine. Ew. And you knew that. Wait, do you wear Crocs?
In the house. Actually, on like dog walks.
So it's like house slippers.
But they're like house slippers. But what's funny is I actually hated Crocs. And I was like, never catch me in those, ever, ever.
Mm-hmm.
We did a Secret Santa. And my friend's husband got me a pair of Crocs with the fur.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Fur. And I wear them all the time. Inside the house. Or on the podcast.
Aren't Crocs supposed to have the holes in them, though?
They do.
So they have holes and fur.
Yeah.
Does the fur cut out around the hole?
No. It's fur like here. Like lining like the ankle.
Oh,
I'll send you a photo.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Crocs,
No.
wine. Floral for spring.
Floral for spray. Yeah, fine.
Fine. Okay, no drink. Canadian tuxedos.
I wouldn't have known what that was, except I just had this party where my best guy friend, it was a Western party, and he doesn't ever dress like cowboy or Western. He's like, I may wear my Canadian tuxedo. And I was like,
How do you not know what that is?
I mean, I've heard it, but it was a long time ago.
Denim on denim on denim on denim.
It just depends. I'll say it's fine if I okay the look.
Okay, do you like the denims to be different shades, or should they be the same?
I think they should be different, or do like jeans with a white t-shirt and then a denim button-up but leave it open. Is that still a Canadian?
It's not a Canadian tuxedo.
It has to be buttoned up.
It doesn't have to be buttoned up, but it just has to be denim.
No, but it would be a denim button-up over the white shirt.
I don't know. I don't know if that...
Well, that's what I told him to wear. I'm like, does that count?
I don't know if that counts. I was wearing a Canadian tuxedo today, by the way.
It would probably be hotter on a girl, though. We can pull anything off, guys. It's like, oh, God.
Okay, fine.
Oh, God.
Outfit repeating, wine or fine?
It's fine.
Okay. It's my favorite thing to do.
It's fine. I think it's more
she
like...
says with a little bit of hesitancy.
Because I think people will judge my answer because I'm a stylist. But what if you get dressed up and go to a friend's birthday party and you don't take any pictures in the hot restaurant you're going to? There wasn't really anyone there that you saw. Like, it's not documented.
See, here's my thing. I will go to a hot new restaurant opening in a dress, and then in the next weekend, I would wear that same dress.
To a hot new restaurant opening?
Or a birthday or something. Photos
But would you be around
posted on
different
Instagram.
people?
Maybe, but
You wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
So I wouldn't want to do it back-to-back weekends around the same people for the same type of thing.
Okay.
But if it's right, or you're here one weekend, then you go to New York to a hot restaurant opening.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to see the same people. Who cares? It's easy. It saves time. You don't have to pick it out.
Okay.
Just try to mix it up. And if there's one person that's the same in both locations. I make an excuse. I have time to do my laundry. I'm wearing the same thing. Don't say anything about it. I feel like we all do that.
I literally shout.
You're like, surprise!
I wore this last weekend. Like, oh my God, it's so good. I had to wear it twice.
Yeah, but it's different people.
Yeah. Low-rise jeans, wine or fine?
Wine.
Yeah.
And I have them.
I can't.
It's gonna be a wine. Like, unless it looks good on everyone, or could possibly look good on everyone, I'm like,
yeah. Like, if it's out there and you're thinking about wearing it, like, give it a try.
yeah.
But, like, no.
I think it's a trend. It's not like one size fits all. And the proportions of low-rise jeans are just not meant to flatter even the most chiseled body type. It makes you
so weird.
Smaller, shorter.
I just don't know how I wore them for so many years of my life.
Because
like
we didn't have a mind of our own and we were following Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera.
You're so right. And also, like, we just were made different too. Like, these teens.
Oh, yes.
Like, they're not even teens.
No.
They're like,
I'm still waiting on certain body parts to arrive. But no, I know. Like, we had no business wearing those jeans, but now's teens could wear them and be like, that's hot.
Exactly.
Or they're doing it for the talk. Hot. I don't know.
Color theory. You know how, like, it's like a big trend right now, seeing what colors go well with your skin tone and your
a lot
hair
of my
color.
Friends have paid and done this service. I think it's fine, but I wouldn't pay to do it.
Okay. I wouldn't pay to do it either.
I think it's interesting, but, like, what's the why? Why?
Yeah, and if you guys don't know color theory, like, they'll put up colors against your skin tone and your hair to see what looks best on you. There's like a winter tone or a summer tone or a bright spring tone and things like that.
Right.
It did make sense. Like, it's kind of like astrology in my opinion. Like, they're gonna tell you something that you may already know, but like it probably makes sense for you. You've probably heard it before.
Yeah.
And when they showed me, I didn't pay for it. It was at an event, but when they showed me, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I'm more of a gold.
Oh, it all
mauve-y
makes sense.
girl. Like, I'm not out here in hot pink. Kind of
I mean, think about makeup when they're trying to color match you. Everyone's gonna have different undertones and different levels of different. It's a whole color theory. But here's my thing: you can have every color where they're like, you're gonna look like Giselle Bundchen if you wear these colors. Where are you gonna find them? Because colors are also seasonal, unless it's black, beige. You can't even say beige because there's a million different beiges, but. Are you going to wear maroon and navy in the summer if that's your color?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but, like, I wouldn't.
Really?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
You are a true stylist. That makes sense. That makes sense that you are going to hold true to, like.
Yeah, but every season there's also colors that are trending. Are all of them going to look good on you? No, but you're going to pick the one that looks the best on you. There's probably a 1% chance that's in your color theory, but we are the consumer.
Yeah.
So when we're looking to buy something, and what retailers are buying is what is trending, because that's what people are seeing on social media or in magazines or at Fashion Week. They want to buy that. They don't give a shit if it's on their color theory.
Right.
So that's why I said, what's the why? I think it's great to know if you have family photos, like what's going to look the best on me in a photograph or a headshot. But other than that, I'm like,
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
That was a very long-winded explanation.
No, that's okay. But you said fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You said fine.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Okay. Are we still into athleisure outside of the gym?
Yeah.
Like, okay, we are.
I just feel like that's never going to go anywhere because of our lifestyle, and post-COVID, that was our work uniform. And we have so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Don't look like a slob. Don't wear mismatched things.
Okay, but like a matching gym set, we are still wearing that to brunch, even though we didn't just come from Pilates.
Not to brunch. Well, where's brunch? If it's like a casual patio.
Not to brunch.
I don't know. What I think, like, if we're going to brunch, all the girls, I think that's a point for
No. I'm meeting two girlfriends, and we're just like grabbing a quick brunch. It's not like a party.
Even if it's outside or like casual, who cares?
Okay.
I think it depends on this. It depends for every answer. I'm like, where are we going?
Yeah.
When was the last time I saw these people? Because if it's been a while, I probably want to get cute and take pictures and probably go somewhere else after. And then you have to know who's going, because if there's going to be that one girl that even if you say casual athleisure that comes looking so hot and then you have to take pictures with her and then you look terrible or lazy.
Wow, I don't think about that.
Well, I wouldn't, but it's happened to me so many times where when these girls now tell me it's casual, they'll show up in a ball gown. And I'm like, mother.
Oh my God.
Amy Schumer did something about this, or one of those comedians was talking about this, where it's like, oh yeah, when these girls say casual, I wear my best getup because you know what that means. They just want you to look bad.
Right. Do you like to be on the same, like, do you like all, let's say you're going to brunch or dinner with 4 other people. So there's 5 of you. Do you like the idea that you all should kind of look like you're going together? Does that make sense?
like matching.
Not matching, but just like I can dress pretty interesting. I think I have good style, but I don't know. I know
what you're saying, and I don't think you all have to.
I might look like I'm going to brunch while somebody else might look like they're going to cocktail dinner time.
We do that too. I don't think you all have to be in, oh, if we're going to brunch, that means a sundress and a neutral heel. Just wear what you would wear to brunch.
Okay.
Because I don't, like, if I saw you at brunch and that's what you wear and you came in a sundress, I'd be like, what are you doing? Are you okay?
Right. Blink twice if you need help.
Did something happen to you? Just be yourself. And at the end of the day, fashion is self-expression.
Yeah.
To me, I'm a stylist. Yeah, but there is no wrong answer. And I always say, for me personally, when I'm walking out of the house, if I look in the mirror and I'm not like a little bit like, what the fuck am I wearing? Then it's not right. I'm not trying to follow the trends. I'm trying to do something original and be creative. I'm not an artist, but that's my chance to like paint my portrait and have fun. Like, I'm not trying to please anyone. I'm not trying to follow the trends or wear the right color. I'm like, this is cool. And I'm sure there's people that look at me and are like, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But I feel good.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
I love when somebody says, what are you wearing? I love that. Like my sister, for example, my oldest sister, Megan, she'd be like, there's those silver cowboy boots again. You know? And I'm like, hell yes.
Yeah, because you have to own it.
Yes.
Own it.
I love it.
But people read that energy. Where if you walked in silver cowboy boots because your friend said that they were hot or she had them, but you're like, this is my style and you're wearing them, you would walk in that way. You would read that energy of like, oh God, does this look okay? Whatever. But if you fucking love them, and someone asks you, you're like, right?
I love it.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are cool, actually. You convince them, and then they probably go buy a pair of silver boots.
Yeah.
You just have to own it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think probably one of the main things that people say too about fashion is it is a self-expression, like you said. And wear anything you want. Like, fine, no rules. But like a well-fitting something is going to like take you from here to here, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people not understanding proportions or their proportions. So I think the thing that elevates style is knowing your body type and what looks best on your body type. And I have so many girlfriends that are like, borrow this, borrow that. I'm like, it's not going to look good on me. And I'm not saying that because I want them to tell me it will. But when my friend has the tiniest waist and hips and a big butt, that is not going to look good on me as hot as it looks on her.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know your body type. My clients that are a lot more petite, like they can't do the oversized style because it's just going to swallow them.
Right.
Whereas taller women that might be a little bit more slender, when they wear that, it looks so chic, but it's giving them a little bit more volume and body that they may not have on their natural physique. Mm-hmm. So that's, I guess, the little bit of styling that I know and I get that some people struggle with, where it's like, I see it on this person, but it doesn't look that way on me. We'll get it to look good on you, but it's not that.
Right.
It's not a high-waisted pant. It's mid-waist, and it has to have pleats, or don't ever do pleats, depending on your proportions and your measurements.
Okay.
Or side pockets or back pockets. Sometimes having a huge pocket makes you look like I have an ass. Someone with a huge ass puts pockets. like the big.
Yeah.
Fit. Or if you're self-conscious about your hips, don't do any pants that have those big cargo. You know what I'm talking about? Like big cargo?
Mm-hmm,
like, don't emphasize where you already have some volume. Like, you want that to like show. Skin tight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to skin tight that because I don't have any. My knees and my legs are more narrow than my anything, actually. So I'm like little here, wide, wider. So like if I'm skin tight, then I just look like an upside down pineapple.
Stop.
I do. I'm pretty sure that's right. Which, yeah, you're laughing because it's like, that's such an ugly image.
Oh my God, no, it's just funny. And I'm also simultaneously trying to think of my body shape exactly.
So I guess the most helpful thing that I can say is I think that most of us have gotten our measurements for either bridal or bridesmaid's dress or prom dress where they have to take your measurements. And it's not about the number, but look at the proportions. Like, what's the widest one? What's the smallest one?
Mm.
And when people think of like a womanly figure, they're thinking this, right? So for me, my hips and butt are the smallest measurement where womanly would be the widest. My waist is the widest where it should be the smallest. So that's why you see me wearing a ton of crop tops because I want nothing there because it's my widest. And then I add volume everywhere else to help mimic what I feel like looks good to the eye. Does that make sense?
It does completely.
Okay. Yeah.
You've just turned me on in kind of a fashion-y way. Like, that made so much sense.
Yeah. I think it's just a bunch of trial and error. Even if that doesn't make sense, just go try on things that you're like, I would never try that on. It's not going to fit. Just try it on. Try it on with a different top. Try it on.
Yeah, and I do like the content that you've been making recently. Like, and a few times you've even been like, okay, this is cute, but it's not my style. And then you put it on and you're like, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like it.
Yeah. Or it looks good. I could feel kind of funny, but it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
We're all traumatized from something we've tried on before where it's like, we thought it was going to be so hot. And it's like, oh my God, that hole where my belly button is showing through.
Oh my God. I call this moment a Ninja Turtle moment. For Halloween one time, my girlfriends and I went to Vegas and we all dressed up as the Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
And I have never been a petite human.
Okay.
And most of my friends have always been petite. So we ordered the costume from, probably an Amazon or whatever Spirit store. And then I go to Sedeka. Did you guys have a Sedeka?
No, I've never heard of that.
It's like a punk store.
Hot Topic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
To get like the green shorts because my ass is gonna be out, like under this like Ninja Turtle skirt or whatever.
When you say shorts,
like booty shorts,
like underwear booty shorts.
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
Like just to cover like my real underwear.
Yeah,
I was like 21, 22. I got stuck.
In what? The booty shorts?
In the fishnet tights, and I pulled up the shorts. They were literally stuck on me. You know, in a seatbelt, like, and you're panicking and you're having anxiety and you can't get out. This is how it was. I was upstairs at my sister's house.
The fishnets got stuck.
The shorts.
The shorts. Onto the fishnets?
I could not get them off of my body.
What are they made out of?
I'm saying that they were 3 sizes too small.
I know, but I'm like envisioning this pair of shorts
like latex, like latex
labels that it has the fire side where it's like so flammable. I'm like, they probably fit you normally at one point, but the material was like insane. Where it's like,
yes, I am upstairs and I'm screaming for my sister. I'm having a full on panic attack. I'm crying. I'm sweating. No, I was feeling ashamed of my body in that moment. I mean, I couldn't get these like small shorts off of, and I knew I was going to be going to Vegas with my friends who were going to be in these cute. I know, it was so sad and so awful, and so. Oh my God, I know I'm bringing that up because I mean it's been so long ago now, but like we even talk about it just in my friend group now. Like it's the Ninja Turtle moment. Like when you're trying something on, and it just doesn't work, and you feel like so outside of your body and so crazy and ugly and like. Yuck,
especially if
we're all gonna have those moments.
Yeah,
but you rise above.
But I feel like it takes evolving and getting out of high school where you learn to love your body whatever your body shape, you learn to love it. Because in high school, it's like, I don't look like this.
Mm-hmm.
After high school, it's like,
There's so many other
so
options and people to compare yourself to. And comparison is the thief of joy.
Yes. But then there's moments like trying on bridesmaids dresses recently where I'm like, I love my body. I've worked really hard for my body. And then I'll try a dress and I'm like, it takes me back to that, oh God.
Yeah.
Ew. Like your Ninja Turtle moment.
No, and it was so...
How'd you get them off?
My sister helped me take
like
them
cut them?
I think it was a mix of, cut them. I think it was a mix of like the panic and the sweat and the panic.
When you panic, you swell.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then wet, you know.
Did you still go out?
We went to Vegas. I wore the costume. I ended up just not wearing, like, I think I was like ashamed of my big butt. So I needed something to cover my butt.
Isn't that funny now?
And right.
I
think I went out with no green shorts.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, okay, I'm in Vegas. Like, I'm my fishnets, you know, like
pictures.
I do. I'll find.
I'm gonna ask you for that after.
I'll find. Yikes. Yeah, we went to that
God.
that one restaurant where they write on your hat.
Doesn't it have something to do with like a dick?
Yeah, always something to do with a dick.
They have one.
Something like put it in this hole or something.
But they have one on the Riverwalk, but it's called, the name of the restaurant has to do with a dirty joke, right?
I forget. It'll come to us as soon as we close up this podcast.
Yeah.
My one of the week's obviously going to be the Ninja Turtle moment that I just came back to, but what's yours?
Wait, when you do a wine of the week,
yeah,
is it something that crosses your mind and you're like moving forward, or is it something new that comes to mind where it's like, I've never noticed that this is a pet peeve of mine, but this
could be either. Could be either. Could be like a Sunday scary type of thing. Could be anything.
Okay. This is something that's come up recently.
Okay.
It really bothers me when people lie because they're afraid of like confrontation or conflict when it comes to like criticism or feedback to someone else, where they're not honest and they lie because it makes them uncomfortable to say the truth.
Mm.
And I don't know why this has been around me constantly for the last few months, but I'm talking like as an employer, not me, but someone that's an employer that has someone come in, they hire them, they're like, I'm totally qualified for this job. Like, great, overqualified, we'll give you a shot. And then push comes to shove, they find out all of it was a lie, horrible experience for a customer of theirs, like bad. And instead of addressing that and also giving this person some feedback that may further them or help them, it's like, let's make it about something else because I don't want to deal with telling them that because that's negative. Even though it's not untrue, I don't consider it negative. It's criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll make stuff up to not say that because they don't want to be mean.
I thought we were kind of over that, like, passive, everyone gets an award culture.
It keeps surrounding me. It happened to me recently. So I've gone through a couple of managers with social media. You don't have to have a manager, but sometimes people will represent you to bring you deals and they make money because they take a percentage of whatever deal comes your way. And we never have meetings. And I get this call or an email or a text from my manager that's like, hey, do you have time today or tomorrow to chat? It's never that. It's like, okay, we haven't talked to him forever. Let's talk about goals for the next year. When are you free? But like today or tomorrow is so urgent. And I just had a feeling something was wrong.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, tomorrow at this time. So she calls. I kid you not. Hey, Stacy, you're doing so great, but we feel so bad taking a commission because the deals are either coming in slower or they're not as high as they were a year ago, the money. And we just feel bad taking a cut. So we're not going to take a cut anymore. I'm like, are you firing me? Are you letting me go? Oh my God, no. Anything that comes in for you, we will negotiate on your behalf. but it's more of like our bandwidth is really small. So with that being said, we're probably not going to be able to take as much time for outreach with you. But since we can't, we're not going to take any commission on deals that come through for you. That makes no fucking sense, right?
Yeah, how weird.
That makes no sense. And I'm like, something's going on. Like, why would someone be like, hey, let me do you a favor and cut my own salary.
Let me work for you and make no money.
Correct.
Did you get to the bottom of it?
No, because I asked. And they're like, no, it's not that. And the next day I would ask for something that abided by what they said, but it was like, oh, never mind. Like, oh, we can't, or oh, I'll forward them this. Or when emails do come through for me, they just forward it. Where someone's interested in working with me, they don't negotiate it. They just forward it. And they don't even say, like, she's representing herself. It's forwarded.
So were you still under contract with these people?
I never did a contract.
Okay.
These people don't do contracts. Some people do. These ones didn't. And it's odd. Like, I respect the person that owns it. I think she's great. And I'm not trying to poo-poo on it. It's more of my whine of the week where I'm like, I know that that is what I'm whining about. I would respect you so much more if you were like, hey, I don't know what it is. Your content kind of sucks. And so we're not getting any deals. Or, hey, you're not producing enough content, so you're not getting XYZ. If you can get this many views, or if you can post, give me some numbers, and then we can revisit this conversation and we'll come back on board. But when it's just like, you're doing great and we're not going to take any more money from you, I'm like,
that's so weird.
That leaves me in such a lost place of like, did I do something? What can I do? Or even if we're done with this partnership, can you give me something moving forward so I can improve?
Feedback.
And people shy away from that because they're like, it's going to sound bad or it's mean. I'm like, you're doing more of a disservice by being dishonest.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
That's a good one of the week.
It drives me nuts.
I like feedback. I like constructive criticism. I never want anyone to like fluff me up for something.
For no reason.
Yeah. And it makes me feel like, for example, just being a solopreneur, whatever, what have you, podcaster, like it makes me feel because the people in my life who have volunteered their time, their money or their support to work with me. I just had a really good friend of mine help make my like sponsorship proposal media kit, and it's like the most stunning thing I've ever seen on this planet. But I know that like this person wouldn't have done this if they wouldn't have spent the time doing this if they weren't confident that I was gonna do something. However, he's had lovely feedback for me and I take it all in. You know, he's like, hey, your titles need some work, they're not attention grabbing, you know, like, and he's a professional in this industry, so I completely respect. Thank you for that feedback, you know. So
and
it's
I craved
important.
that from these people. Like, I don't know this industry, I know what I'm doing, but you're the person that's supposed to be like, yes, no, you did this, keep doing that, or don't do this, or really focus on this, you're good at this but not good at this. But when it's just like limbo, I'm like, what
a weird vibe.
Such a
weird vibe. Okay, so now you're representing yourself.
I don't even know. it was left so vague.
You were like kind of broken up with, but not.
Kind of. I couldn't even tell you because it was so polite but also very confusing, where I was like repeating back what they were saying. They're like, I'm like, that makes no sense. Because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't waste my time pitching you or responding to emails if I was going to get nothing out of it. So why would you do that? Like, where's this coming from?
I'm going to ask you about this in a couple months off the record. Because what?
There might be more that comes out. We'll see.
We'll see. Oh. Okay, where can the listeners, the Whiners, find you on social? And if they're interested in, like, do you do a consultation? Like, what's the vibe for that?
So for the Closet Audit, for my business, for personal styling, I do offer a free discovery call. And my website is listed on my link tree, which should be on my TikTok and my Instagram.
Okay.
And that handles Stacy Renee 926. And on the website, it has a list of the services I offer, but also has like inquire here, where you just type in what you're wanting, click the box, it'll send me a message. And from there, depending on what they're wanting, I can set them up with a free discovery call to see if we're a match, if I can help them. And then from there is where we would move forward. If they want virtual or in person, styling, closet organization, all that.
Okay. But even if also you just want to follow her on Instagram because the tips are helpful.
Yeah.
Her little videos are so
Maybe
cute.
I'll do more of that.
Who comes with you?
Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a tripod. But I do have 2 guys that will help me here and there. If it's something where I want to be in a store and just go and then follow me around.
Yeah. Those are cool.
And I found them through Heidi Summers, Buff Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's a Love is Blind fan. And started following me through the show and anything with content because she's huge. And I was shocked that she even replied to me. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think someone else needs to shoot it. And they had done some of her campaigns and stuff. And so they helped me with the videography or will give me tips on like, do this or don't do that. They're really sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah. Always ask. Never be afraid to ask. I'm not afraid of being left on red.
I'm not either.
I really don't care. I'm like, what else do I have to lose?
You know what? I'm not afraid of being left on red, but I don't like being left on red. Are those different?
It depends on the person, but I'm just like, sometimes I do it knowing I'm going to be left on red.
Respond. Just say no thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. We're over our time. We got to go. Love you, Whiners. See you next Thursday. Bye.